I'll be a trap queen till the police are at the door. And then I'll tell them every single thing that I know. There's a gun under the mattress, there's crack on the stove. I didn't know this man we just met 2 hours ago. Yeah.
Welcome to the View.
Welcome to the View.
At Yotel.
The yodelay hotel. Why do you call it Yotel?
Our homeless
what does it mean,
editions.
Yotel?
I don't know. There are Yotels in Europe, apparently. So
it
means something
that
in
I knew
Europe.
without you even telling me. It's definitely a European brand.
Maybe it's a word in Europe.
But I thought maybe it could be Canadian too.
Well, I noticed that in Europe they like to take the letter T-E-L from hotel and then combine it with other letters.
Like what?
So there's like a Novotel.
Oh, yeah.
There's this Yotel, and there are others, and on and on and on.
Wait, there's Novotel and Yotel and
Sofitel.
Sofitel. Oh, I've seen Sofitel. Yes.
So it just goes on and on.
So it's like if we had it too, it would be called the Putel. Well, I like that idea.
Once our empire grows, you can stay
at the Putel.
5 luxurious nights at the Putel.
Yes.
In Waikiki Beach.
And what's it called? And Walla Walla, Washington. That was always
Waikiki Beach is in Honolulu.
Yeah, I know,
not
but
in Walla Walla.
No, I know, but the Walla Walla, Washington was always the one I laugh at. Remember? And Walla Walla, Washington.
Right. I don't even know where Walla Walla,
Washington is. It just sounds funny to say. Walla Walla, Washington.
It does sound funny. I have no idea where that place is.
It's in
Presumably
Walla
it's
Walla,
in
Washington.
Washington
State. Yeah. So
it's not a crack whore in D.C.
Walla Walla, Washington. So we were going to discuss some other quotes from Party Monster, and
yes, many of you viewers have wondered how real is the dialogue from Party Monster. Did it really happen? Were these words really uttered by Michael Alig and James St.
You know, actually, now that you mention it, the words weren't uttered by me and James, but when they sent me the script originally, and it wasn't for approval or anything, because they could have done it with or without my authorization, but they wanted just some input to make the quotes more realistic, and I rewrote. I crossed out a few pages worth of dialogue, and I wrote what I thought would be real, and I sent it back to them, and they wouldn't change anything. They wouldn't change a thing, and so it was all this like very stiff kind of not.
But it's not stiff because people love it. It's funny.
Well, but you know that's not how it was.
Well, of course not. I mean, it's all a figment of James's and World of Wonder's imagination.
Yes, but I took the same idea, but said it how me and James would have said it, and it was much funnier. But it's more complex, but it was the same thing.
But people think the movie is very funny.
It could have been funnier.
Okay. Hear that? It could have been
funnier.
Even more funny than you already think it was.
I mean, there is some, the we don't do, we just are. I mean, I understand.
That's lame.
I understand why they do it, why they did it, because the movie is kind of.
Now, if you recall, in the movie, they asked, when they went to Houston or Dallas, now it's showtime, what do you do? And then I think it was James who responded. We don't do, we just are.
I'm sure it's James in the movie, yeah. So, so I know it, because the movie is kind of the World of Wonder's interpretation of the Club Kids, and that's how it should be.
Right, it's their freaking movie.
Yeah, so that line it needs to be there because it's kind of explained a lot. So I understand why it was there, but it's just somebody who was there, it doesn't ring true.
Well, everyone's dying to know about the song that is sung, because there's a lot of questions about whether we really sang that song when we went to Dallas that first time.
Yes. No, we did not.
We did not. We were in no condition to sing.
No. We did sing a song. You weren't part of it. I had a band, as you all, I'm sure, know. Remember that band?
Dynamo?
Yes.
Yeah, I have a story about Dynamo.
Okay. And why did we get the rolling of the eye just now?
Because it was this huge production where, you spent all this time working on
the poster.
First of all, before we go on Dynamo,
the most important part of everything.
Let's just finish the story about Dallas and.
Okay, but the poster is the most important thing of a band.
Yes.
Well, any band, the poster is the most important thing,
and that's what you spent the most time on.
Yes, the most important thing. So, okay, so we didn't sing that song. we sang other songs, but not in Dallas.
But not in Dallas.
So that's the thing about the movie. They took things that happened here and put it over there and combined things, which you need to do in a movie. There's nothing wrong with that. But that didn't happen.
We'll be right back.
And now a word from our sponsor. Welcome back to the Pew.
Welcome back to the Pew, where we're going to talk some more about quotes from the movie, and we're going to talk about Dynamo, because Ernie has some very good things to tell you about how wonderful the band was.
Yes, well, read another quote.
That's better than a 10-inch dick, and you know it. Well, there isn't much that's better than a 10-inch dick, but I don't know what he was referring to in that. That was a line by James. Do you know what he was referring to?
Nope.
That's better than a 10-inch dick, and you know it. I mean, I don't think that James...
I'm sure it was probably in reference to drugs.
I'm sure it was probably... it was probably K, but in the movie, doesn't he do K on a dick, off a dick?
I don't recall seeing any
It's
penises.
in the book. In the book.
Penises.
He does it in the book. That's better than a 10-inch dick. Igor, do you know what that's from? That's better than a 10-inch dick, and you know it? Do you know the scene? Huh. Well, there you go. Okay, so we're like two peas in a pod, you and I, James. And he says, I pity the pod. That never happened, but I pity the pod as well, if James is part of the pod. Do you know that I had to hear today from a periscoper that James's movie is finished filming?
Oh. Good for him.
Yeah.
That was fast.
Good for him.
Very fast.
Yeah, very fast and slick. Fast and slick.
It's amazing how quickly they make
Amazing how
movies
slick
these
he
days.
can be, yes. You're right, Ernie. It's amazing how slick James can be. So, you'll love me, I promise. I mean, I've never promised anybody would love me. I can't make that promise.
Oh, no.
Because sometimes they don't.
Oh.
Every once in a while.
More than sometimes.
Every once in a while, I come across somebody who doesn't love me.
So do I.
It's true. You come across someone who doesn't love you? Well, that's too bad. But it's not very often. But so let's talk about Dynamo. Tell all the good things you have to say about Dynamo.
My funny memory about Dynamo is that Michael spent all this time on the poster, and then we were going.
It's a dilly, right?
You were going to do the.
It's a dilly.
You were going to do the premiere performance.
Premiere performance. Big deal.
At the opening of the Style Summit at Limelight.
Yeah, we did.
And that very night, as everybody was waiting to see Dynamo take the stage, you either
it's our debut.
You were either seized with stage fright, which compelled you to take Special K and other drugs, or you took Special K and other drugs.
Just a regular. Nothing compelled me. We did that every night.
All right. Well, somehow you developed stage fright that night, and you would not go on the stage to perform.
That's not true.
It's true.
I remember performing.
Well, it took some cajoling.
But I did. They got me out there.
Yeah, well, I guess maybe
they wheeled me out.
Maybe they pumped you full of Narcan. I don't know.
Probably cocaine.
Okay.
That's what you give to counteract the Special K.
Well,
Narcan. It gives cocaine. Is that like Yotel? Narcan?
I just recall him being seized with stage fright and refusing to go on stage.
Huh.
That's what I remember.
Really?
Yeah.
So did I go on stage?
I don't recall that you went on stage.
Well, I know that I performed.
Well,
but I don't remember, the circumstances around it. I mean,
darling, every night was a performance.
Yeah, but I do remember being on stage and not singing.
Well, every
but
night we were on stage for the hot body contest.
Right, and it was only a lip sync, so it wouldn't have been like a big,
Yet you were really nervous.
Well, I was really high, you say?
Just a normal Saturday night.
Yeah, it was a Wednesday
night.
But that's your big story. Michael was high one night on a Wednesday.
That's my story about Dynamo.
Because I do remember the poster, and it's a beautiful airbrush poster by Tom
We remember the poster, but
Tom
not
Pitt.
the performance.
Tom Pitt. But don't you see? That's the whole thing.
Yeah, it lasts longer.
Well, yes, the poster will be around forever. And the memory nobody has.
Everyone was too high.
Yeah, and the poster is now probably selling for $500 because can't find them. I don't even have one. Well, I have one copy of one. Tom Pitts made them. They're beautiful. Richie Rich, and Tobel, and Jenny, and David Alphabet.
Bitches want to know. Begley's Shizzle.
Why does Michael Musto have such a sense of entitlement when speaking on Michael and Club Kid? I'm glad you said it, not me.
You know, he's always nice to me, so I don't
nice
feel
to me,
like
too.
he's actually hostile, or he kind of writes in a bitchy way just because
But he does
he's
that about everybody.
He's trying to entertain the readers, but he's not really like that in person.
No, and I don't think he's going to be in our zombie movie.
Yeah.
We're going to be in a movie next with him Saturday. At my request, I was the one who called him and said, and I called Eric and I said, would you please put him in the movie? Because I thought he's going to be a zombie head hopper, and I thought that'd be funny.
And
you came up with that one, didn't you?
I think we kind of brainstormed it. Yeah.
And he really liked it. And I think that was what made him want to do the movie. But he's not. We talked last week about Anita and everything. We're not. He's not.
It's all an act.
Yeah. But sense of entitlement. What does she mean by that? His own order.
Well, everyone in New York City has a sense of entitlement.
Do you mean like you're an authority, being an authority?
Well, he is an authority.
Yeah, I know. That's something. Do you think that's what
I'm
you're
not
getting
sure.
at?
I'm not sure.
Sense of entitlement when
We're not
speaking
sure,
on the
Begley.
Club Kids. If it's why does he feel he's such an authority? Well, because he kind of is.
He is an authority.
He's like a social commentator, like kind of like cultural.
He's an expert.
Yeah, I mean, well, I don't know if he's an expert. He's a commentator. I mean, it's his job to commentate, but that doesn't necessarily make him an expert.
All right. See you next time.
Bye.